had no other option than to put my hands above my head and say, "Tranquilo, hombres, por favor, calm down."
Hello, we're back again. Jason's here.
Howdy doody.
What have you been up to this week? You've been working hard.
Yeah, I just edited a few of these podcasts on it. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen the work. Jason's been working hard. I haven't been working so hard. I've had a few late nights. I've got some family news though.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm going to go and visit my little brother.
Cool.
He also lives in China. Looking forward to that. And
He's in Hangzhou, is it?
yeah, he's in Hangzhou.
Hangzhou.
And so that's always fun trip down there. And I've got a new niece.
Ah, congratulations.
Yeah, she was born yesterday. It's my first niece.
Your brother's like, or...
No, my sister.
Oh, okay.
So I've got two nephews by my sister. That sounds weird, doesn't it?
I've got two nephews by my sister.
I nearly choked on my beer there. I was like, what? You
But
had,
I did
you
say
had two what?
I
Which
did, I did say nephews.
If you had said kids there.
I've got two boys by my sister. Well, at least I said nephew, which rescued it a little bit, but you know what I mean. But yeah, two boys who I love, absolutely love. And now I've got a little girl. She's called Isabella Ivy. So shout out to Isabella.
Ivy, welcome to the shit show that is the world.
Yeah, welcome to the world. Yeah, 2020 baby.
Yeah.
We'll always remember. So that's good. But anyway, so yeah, looking forward to the trip tomorrow. Anyway,
Yeah, let's get on with the show.
Room 101 is my turn.
It is indeed.
It's a subject matter that's close to our hearts, I think, or we have discussed before. I want to put digital payments
Ooh.
into Room 101.
You curveballed me there because you mentioned two other ones and then okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll expand a little bit. It's like, and I know it's the same in England everywhere as well. Now I don't even know what kind of payments they use over there. We use WeChat Pay, don't we, basically?
Yeah.
Or Alipay.
When I left Ireland, basically a lot of people had jumped, and that's a long time ago. That's 10 years ago. A lot of people had jumped onto credit cards. I'm assuming like Apple Pay and stuff is now being used, but I don't. From what I heard from like my parents talking and stuff, they don't use digital as much as we do. But I think it's only a matter of time.
Here it's like
Here everything's digital. You have
It's-
basically Alipay and WeChat.
the fabric of society
Yeah.
depends on WeChat Pay, doesn't it? If you don't have it, you're screwed, aren't you? If you don't have it, you
Yeah.
might be screwed at some point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I'll expand a little bit because a few things have happened recently which just really get on my tits, and that's why I want to put digital pay. I suppose it's not digital payment I want to put in. It's it's this transition we're going through, and what I hate is being told how to pay. You know, I mean, I've got some, sort of moral biases against digital payment because you just end up with, as soon as you pay in a shop, 2 seconds later you're getting binged with advertisements, aren't you? And
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious why it's happening,
Yeah.
and I know it's convenient, but what annoys me in particular is being in a taxi and I offer cash because I still like to use cash because I don't like the idea of there being this electronic record of everything I've done and everywhere I've been. I just, maybe I'm a bit old fashioned, but I just don't like the idea. What annoys me is cash is still legal payment.
Yeah.
And then in a taxi, you'll get in and someone will say, you'll offer cash, and they'll just look at you in a bemused way and say, no, I haven't got any change. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, that's ridiculous. Especially if you're a taxi driver in that kind of profession. You should at least be able to brake.
Well, just to let you know, I actually was reading an article about that recently. It is illegal for them to do that now. It is 100% illegal.
Of course it is.
They cannot refuse cash and they cannot say that they don't have change. It's their obligation to have change. So you're quite entitled to sit there.
Well, the way I work with WeChat, I know lots of people are just like, yeah, let's do whatever. They just changed over to it, and now, I know everyone thinks like this, but I move money into a bank account that has WeChat. I don't like to have that WeChat route into my bank account with all my money. I just don't. I don't like it because it links straight into your bank account. You don't have to transfer money from your bank account to like a WeChat wallet, they call it.
Yeah.
And I just think if
You
there's
can if you want, though. You can.
you can,
Yeah.
but you don't have to. If your WeChat wallet says 0, it still keeps coming out your bank. And I just think if there's that route in,
There's a route out.
yeah. And so I've always ever since it started, I've been like, you know, I've got 2 bank accounts, one that my salary gets paid into, and I've got another bank account, an old one, and I just periodically move a bit of money into there just for WeChat, you know, emergencies. That's what I normally do.
Yeah.
So sometimes I genuinely need to pay cash. I'm like, there isn't anything in here, you know, it's not a bottomless pit of money.
Yeah, I'm the same. Because
And then I have to go into a shop, buy a bottle of juice or something I don't want, and then come back. But what annoys me is they sit there like,
it's your fault.
it's
like,
your problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not my problem. You go and buy a bottle of, well, they can't because I haven't got any bloody cash.
Yeah. I don't know. You're going to have to probably give a stronger argument for me to put it into
Well, I will.
room 101.
I've got more.
Cash to me, until somebody turns around and says, okay, cash is done, we're not doing cash anymore.
Exactly. If that was the case, I wouldn't win.
Then they have to...
Because I wouldn't have any.
It's just like, it's the same. Some places are even refusing credit cards and bank cards now and stuff like, whereas before, it was either cash or credit card or bank card or debit card. Then WeChat came in, then Alipay came in, and... No,
it was very quick, wasn't it?
To be honest with you, what annoys me a little bit here is it's almost a laziness thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, why would I bother go to the bank and get change for my customers?
I mean, I've been in shops where, and you're right, I've been in shops where people say, no, you have to pay WeChat. And I say, well, I don't have any WeChat money, but I've got cash. I'm willing to pay, and you're not accepting.
You're basically
and
refusing a sale.
And then you'll hear a big sigh, and then they'll open the till, and it's full of cash.
Yeah.
So it's just
No,
saying,
it's 100% laziness.
I don't want to turn to my left and push a button.
Yeah, because it's inconvenient.
Yeah.
No, because there's more to it than pushing the button. They know then they're going to have to replenish that change that they've taken out by having to walk to a bank or whatever. But
But you're running a business.
exactly, like when I had my business, it was like I had all forms. I didn't. If you came up and tried to pay me in silver and gold, I'd whip out a weighing scales. Let's do this, brother.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't understand why people would refuse it. It's laziness.
Well, the
for
other
sure.
thing is that I've read some stories about, especially for the elderly. This is what annoys me as well, because I mean, at the end, like I sometimes I will put up a fight and I'll be like, well, sometimes I have only got cash. I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I mean, the highest note in China is 100 RMB. That's like a tenner.
Which is nothing as well. Like, so I mean, if you can't break a tenner,
It's
you
not
got a
like I'm
problem.
trying to pay with a fucking £50 note. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I've heard that, you know, sometimes in like, you know, quite big institutions, older people will, you know, they'll go down there with their cash to pay their whatever insurance for the month or something they do. I don't know, and you know, and the people down there will just usher them out the door and say,
Get your mother to pay or your sister to pay for
get your son to show you internet payments. I'm like,
That's ridiculous. To
these
be honest with
these
you,
poor people have served their time, haven't they? And now they must be like, what's going on in the world? I just went down there with a bundle of... So now they have to walk along the street with a bundle of cash, which isn't the safest thing
no.
in the world. You know, and I'm sure an older person thinks, I was going to get to the place, I was going to pay the thing, and I'm going to walk back happy as Larry.
Yeah.
You know, no money on me. Now, I'm stuck with like, sometimes it's thousands, you know.
And it's also it must be terrifying for them because I mean, but you can only have WeChat if you have like a smartphone, and a lot of old people don't even have. They may not even have a mobile phone,
That's
let
what I
alone
mean,
a smartphone.
I feel really sorry for them. And then the other...
If WeChat and them had come up with a way that you could use it, you know, another way without having a phone, then I might kind of say, all right, fair enough to them, but it's
Yeah, I think this is the thing. I'm not against the digital payment revolution. I mean, you know, I use it, and of course, it's very useful and convenient. I'm against the
not accepting other things.
being forced to do it when I don't want to do it or when I can't do it.
Just to let people know, like China is trying to, they're trying to roll out digital currency completely. So I think the end game will be like down the road that cash will be gone completely. But which I was dead against when I heard it first. Because I assumed that you needed a smartphone, you needed a bank account, you needed all of it.
But you don't.
It turns out you don't. I guess you must get some sort of a device given to you when you arrive in China, and you can put money into it somehow. I don't know how it's going to work. But
Like I said, if that's a case in point where it's like, you know, it's completely possible to use it all the time. But it's the same thing. Like if my money's run out of phone, if my phone's run out of money,
Or battery,
I can't use WeChat, and then people are just looking at it. Taxi drivers look at you and laugh like, oh, you know, you'll have to go and do something. You'll have to do something.
No,
I'm
mate.
like,
You'll have to go and do
no,
something.
why do I
because-
have to do something?
Yeah.
So I have to go out of my day. I have to put in more work. So you get paid.
Yeah.
I'm here, ready to pay.
Yeah.
What happened to this world? And the other day. So, you know, these days after this a couple of fiascos, I've actually, you know, I've got money on my WeChat phone. Then I go out of the house. I wanted to go to the post office and go to the subway. And stupidly, I went out without any cash. I thought I've got WeChat money. Everything's gonna be fine. I get to the post office and they're like, "You can't pay with WeChat here. You have to use cash." And they said you'll have to go to a cash point. I said, I haven't even brought any cards with me. Luckily, the woman was really nice and she let me pay her in WeChat, like her personal WeChat, and then she
Took cash out and
or something. I don't know where she got the cash from. I don't know, but at least I don't know. I don't know, but it just seems like
Yeah, it's a bit.
it seems like I'm getting tripped up everywhere I turn. You know, now
For-
you've got to have both, haven't you? You've got to have both on you. It seems.
According to the Chinese government, anyway, it still cash is the number one method of payment in their eyes, and WeChat and Alipay are secondary. If you want to use them, you can use them. So it's good to know that, like, you know, they're not trying to say no, you have to use it, but the problem is it's so bloody convenient that people are getting so lazy that they won't change. But what, in its defense, I will say it is, as a business owner before, it is good that you don't end up at the end of the night with thousands in cash.
Yeah.
So like getting like the digital transactions for a business is a bit better in that aspect, because you don't have that worry of a guy coming in with a shotgun, because what's he going to do? Steal your phone. The phone has a password. You know, so it is, from a security point of view, it's probably maybe a bit better. But
I think I'm just a bit stubborn. I also get annoyed with these. Now you have these shops which are completely unmanned.
yeah.
So you go in there and you have to.
But the thing with them is, you know that, right? So you have a choice. You don't have to go into them.
But that still annoys me, because that's like it's like I'm going into a supermarket, but I'm also going to work.
Yeah.
You should be doing that.
Yeah.
Why do I? So now I have to do everything. I have to pick something up from the
Yeah,
shelf.
because again, that's I know at the moment there's not that many of them, but that will be the future. That will be what we're all going to be. That's what they want to do.
All there is a guy in there saying, "All right,"
Yeah.
and he's talking to his missus.
But eventually,
and I'm doing all the work.
Yeah, but eventually that guy won't be there either. You know what I mean? It'll be just all vending machines or something. I don't know. But there's already a shop in. There's a few of them. I think down in Shenzhen. There's nobody at all in there. Basically, you can't get anything out the door because it can scan the barcode or something.
Blows up.
No, it basically won't open the door. You won't be able to unless you've paid for it. You can't get out the door. Like, so it's. But what happens if it all goes wrong?
I don't like any of this. What you're saying.
'Cause
It's like
no, I don't like. I'll be honest with you. I think I agree.
it seems like the future in RoboCop to me. It's not good.
I like that it's there, but I think we should always have the backup plan. Ireland went through, I think, 3 currency changes. We went from, obviously we had the British pound at one stage, so we changed the Irish pound.
Oh yeah.
Then there was some weird, like, you know, the farthings and all that nonsense as well.
I don't know. Did you have another
Yeah,
one before
England went through he had
farthings.
farthings
Okay,
and all.
yeah.
So like there was that change. Then there was like the euro. Then to change to euro, and it was like, oh fuck it, why should we bother changing? But to be honest with you, that transitioned easily, and it was just going from cash to cash.
Yeah.
So people just had to figure out a pound is now worth this. And then after 2 weeks, honest to God, after 2 weeks, nobody knew the difference.
Yeah, well, that's
all
different.
people struggled
That's
with it
different
at the
because
beginning.
that's like for like.
Yeah, like it's apples for apples.
The culture
right?
hasn't changed. Now I will admit, you know as well as I do, I'm a bit stubborn and I'm not the most technologically minded person. It took me a long time to even get into this digital payment, much longer than anybody else.
Yeah.
And but I know I'm a bit useless. Like I said, my technological know-how ranges from turning it off and on again to I remember once I had a did I tell you so, when I had a Kindle, but it didn't have a light. So you had to read it in the daylight. I think it was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
But once I was in a taxi reading my Kindle, and someone sent me a message and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just using my phone to read my Kindle in the taxi." And the girl said, "Well, that's amazing. You've linked up your Kindle. You've synced your Kindle to your phone." I said, No. I've got
You're using the torch on.
Yeah. I'm just in because it was night time. I said, no, I'm just in the back, and I've just turned my phone on and I've just directed the screen at the Kindle. I didn't even have the spotlight on because I didn't know how to find that. I just had to open to a page that was like quite bright.
Yeah.
And then I was just turning it to my Kindle, and she was just laughing her head off on the phone, going, "You are such a technological retard." But it was amazing that she thought, she was like, "You such a Kindle."
I had such a respect for you when I met you first, because you were still with a flip phone when everybody was with a smartphone.
Is that true?
Yeah. When I met you with Casper that time, and he used to joke about it, going, "Finn doesn't do the whole technology thing." And
You know why I have a smartphone, don't you?
No.
One day, everyone was getting smartphones and stuff, and I'm like, "Fuck that! I don't need those things." And then one day, 8 or 9 mates, it was on my birthday, they clubbed together and we've bought you a present. I was like, "Oh, that's nice of you," and I opened it up and it was a fucking smartphone. So I didn't.
Yeah, because then we didn't see each other for a long time. Then I seen you again, and you had like WeChat, and I was like, Jesus.
I only had that because otherwise it'd be like saying, "Thanks for the present."
Yeah.
And I just popped it away. My friend had to download WeChat on it. That's why my name was Huckleberry, because he thought it was funny. That wasn't my idea. That wasn't my idea.
You can change that.
I've changed it now. I only learnt that. I only had to change it
Oh yeah, that's right. You have.
a few weeks ago, but I have changed it now. But yeah, so that's the only reason I mean, obviously you've got to have a smartphone, haven't you? But everyone had one except me. They were like, "Why are you rolling with this old school?" I guess I don't even remember that flip phone, but you must remember.
I don't think it was literally a flip phone, but you know what I mean. Like I don't think you had like
it was a
smartphone,
little Nokia brick.
Yeah, like a thing that you punch in the numbers.
Definitely. I had a long time before anyone. While everyone had smartphones.
And then even when I had the pub, I used to be delighted because for a long time you were cash only, and then all of a sudden you started using more and more WeChat.
Well, that's because of this.
He's been converted. He's been converted.
He's changed. This guy's changed.
Again, I don't have nothing against the WeChat Pay, but I think people should be open to take them all, basically, until we're told otherwise, basically.
So what are you saying? Is this the first disagreement? Are you saying digital payments don't go into Room 101? I'd love to go back to just cash. I think it'd be brilliant.
I would have no problem with that either. I think it's. I also, to be honest, I used to have a bit of a problem with credit cards and debit cards and stuff, because it doesn't feel like you're spending money.
Yeah.
I used to you go to the hole in the wall, you take out $1,000 RMB.
That's what I liked.
And that you kind of budget, that was your night out or whatever you budgeted. When it's gone, or you have to go to the hole in the wall.
You're right.
Whereas with the fucking WeChat, you wake up the next day and go, "What? I spent fucking $3,000 last night." Do you know what I mean?
That's what I used to, you're right, even when we had like card payments, I used to know I'd gone out with 50 quid in my wallet.
Yeah.
And then you'd wake up and you go, "Oh, 50 quid. And then all of a sudden you'd pull out a switch card receipt from your pocket and you'd be like, "Oh, where did this thing come from?" Then there'd be another one.
150 quid.
Then there'd be another one in the back pocket. Like, "Oh, shit." Yeah, we made it too.
No, the thing is, we've been digital for a long time, because my salary was paid straight into my bank account, and I'm sure you're not collecting cash or a check from somebody. It's basically, I think how we spend it should be completely, up to us. I can't agree for you putting digital
just reverting back to the past.
Let's go back to bartering, basically, right?
Yeah.
That I can't agree with, but I can agree with, people have to still accept cash. I think it should have been people who don't accept cash go into Room 101, basically.
Okay,
that's what I.
That's not a bad compromise. Okay, I'll accept that. All right, so I won't stop progress, but let's.
No, but there's I won't go too deep into this. I also have my fears around the whole digital thing, because they can watch you. No, I'm not saying people are watching us, but
Everybody
basically
knows.
your freedom does go a lot when it's all digital, but it hasn't gone all digital yet.
And like I
so
said,
I
I've
don't
got-
think there's any point panicking about that
Yeah, all right,
part
fine.
of it. But
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've not got nothing to worry about people looking what I'm buying. I'm only buying like beers and
Yeah, that part of it,
sandwiches from
yeah.
7-Eleven, but it's just the principle. It's like I'm not given the choice anymore to, and I know that it is being recorded what I've bought for advertising purposes or whatever the fuck. All right, well, okay, we'll put in people who
refuse to accept cash.
people who refuse payment for services or
Yeah.
goods offered.
Yeah.
Definitely they need to
No
go
matter
in.
what means it is.
Yeah. All right, that's that done. Cheers.
So we're on Snacks Unknown now.
Ooh.
This week was my turn. Last week was some. Well, let's not go there. It was terrible.
Silkworm.
Shockingly bad. But
They weren't good, were they? They were not good.
I actually even discussed it with a few Chinese people. They're not. They're not. There's. I think it's a very very acquired taste. Those ones. So
Maybe a bit of a niche thing, but
yeah.
it's always there at the barbecues. It's always there.
So basically, I've gone for some anatomy of an animal again this week, because we do like how the Chinese use everything of the animal.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
This is one of Angel's favourite snacks,
I'm already scared.
and it's
Here we go. Going in his little bag.
I have a little bag here with 2 items.
Oh
I'm
God.
gonna put it there now and see. There's 2 of them in there. You even get a little glove.
Oh, maybe I know what this is.
It is. I don't think I need the glove.
I think I know what this is.
It
Do you want me to guess? I won't guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it duck neck?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Have you had it before? Oh, you have. Okay. I haven't, to be honest. So I'll leave you take out your own piece. I'll take a little picture. It looks like a little shit, to be
Duck
honest with
neck.
you.
Yeah. Should we put the gloves on? Should we do it? Put the gloves on. They like giving out gloves, don't they, the Chinese?
They do.
I see you get it in pizza places as well.
They do.
It's not a bad idea, is it?
Not
Really?
at all.
I think you're going to be surprised. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, I think. Yeah. But yeah, it looks... well, it looks like the neck of a duck, doesn't it, really? It's like chew. It's like sort of-
I'm just kind of confused how small the hole down the middle of it is. It's like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't fit much down there, I guess. Is that where the food goes, or
I don't know.
is that just the bone? I don't know.
Maybe it's like a little... Well, no, it kind of looks like the whole neck, doesn't it? But you're right, it does look a bit closed off, like...
Yeah.
I'll give you this. It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. It does look like a little poo.
It doesn't look like... Yeah, it does, yeah. It does look like a little poo. Anyway, but yeah, these shops are quite popular. You find them all over the place,
Yeah.
don't you?
She took Angel got them for me tonight. She's also got something else, but I'll go into that in a minute. You won't like what we got.
But I know they have these little shops and they're like little open shops, almost like little stalls, and they've got trays of all the different duck bits. And it's not just neck, I think. You can have anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So, nose, smells great.
Smells good.
Touch, it's like solid, isn't it?
It's very solid, but the more I'm kind of picking at it.
Soft.
No, it is going. The meat is actually starting to fall off. There's more to it than the
Yeah,
chicken leg.
honestly,
anyhow.
you're going to be surprised. Right, should we go? Ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're eating.
Frickin' hell, that's good.
It is, mate. It's really, really good. I've told you
I
that.
thought this was going to be sinewy and horrible.
No,
Oh, it's a bit spicy now, in fairness.
but it's
That's freaking delicious.
yeah, it's like I said, I knew you'd be pleasantly surprised. It's really good.
Wow. Now I understand, because she really goes to town on these sometimes, like.
Well, you really have to gnaw it. You have to scrape it with your teeth.
No, but at least I don't
But the
like,
meat's there.
like, I love chicken wings, but I hate doing the whole gnawing thing. So I like to pick things off, and you can do that with this.
Yeah.
So it is, it's pretty good.
Like there's not much.
Yeah.
There's not much on one, but you get like a bag of them.
Yeah, she gave me, she got a good bag of them, and I was like, just give me 2. I'm kind of sorry that I didn't take
I bet
the
she
bag
was
off.
like 2. We're talking about you need to slaughter at least 11 ducks for a good feed. But
But I have good news though. I've got something to wash it down with. I brought something. It's black, glutinous rice wine.
Ooh.
Basically, I've decided to use this a bit because I think China is like it could be an alcoholic's dream basically, because there's like this bottle of it's the same size as a bottle of whiskey basically. It costs 15 RMB.
That's not expensive.
That's like 1.
Is it alcoholic?
It's 11%. Now it is. When Angel seen me buying it, she was like, "You know that's for cooking," and I'm like, "No," because I seen it online, and there was a guy drinking it with a glass of ice, like so. It is. It originated as a drink.
I'm still caning this duck neck. Great.
I like the way you still have the glove on as well.
The glove's a great idea. Last week was a bitch because we had to wipe our hands after. I mean, it's spicy too, these things.
Okay, the glutinous rice wine smells like. It smells like soy sauce. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, did we describe the colour already? It's like a.
It's black.
So what? Angel said this is for cooking, and you said you've seen someone. Drink
I ordered that online, but I was flicking through the drinks, and it was in the alcohol section basically. And then, but I did look through the thing, and there was basically a guy with a glass, like a tumbler glass, with a big ice cube in it, drinking it. So I was like, okay, let's give it a go.
I'm gonna pour it out. So there it is. 2 glasses of the finest Chinese glutinous rice wine.
Yes. Now I think it smells like food to me, but that's probably because it is in a lot of cooking here.
Yeah, I can imagine this kind of stuff makes, if you're frying something, it'll taste delicious.
Yeah.
It's like when you use wine for cooking, isn't it? Some
It
people.
doesn't smell offensive. Like I thought it. Like I guess it is only.
It doesn't smell like
11%.
something I want to,
No, I
get hammered on. Let's do a bottle of glutinous rice wine in tonight.
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know you said you weren't going to bring a bottle tonight, and you did.
I lied.
All right, bottoms up, mate. Should we
Cheers.
shoot it or sip?
Oh, let's take a sip.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Again, it's
Not bad at all.
not bad. Not bad.
To be honest,
It's a bit sweet.
I reckon with an ice cube it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
The smell is just. Do you know what? It smells almost like
like sherry or
Marmite or something. Does it?
I can imagine like a grandma liking it.
Or Vegemite? Is it? What's the one that's like a yeasty kind of? I think it's it's actually not bad.
I think it would get sickly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I mean,
It would
if
get-
you were desperate to get hammered, I think.
Yeah, if you're an
it would-
alcoholic, you'd do
yeah.
anything, yeah. Probably go straight past the duck next, straight
Could
into
have
this.
been worse.
But yeah, I mean, I just thought it would be like really strong, but it's
Because you have Baijiu here as well, which is I think that's made of rice as well, if I'm not mistaken.
it must be. I'm sure it's like because they call it Chinese rice wine in
Yeah.
England, don't they?
And that's pretty rough. Like
I love Baijiu.
some of it's good, but the cheaper stuff is horrendous. Maybe we should do a bottle one day. I'll bring you a bottle of the cheap stuff because you can literally buy it here in like plastic gallon containers, and it's like 50 pence.
There's
Do you know what I mean?
definitely levels of quality to
And
the
then you
to
have the
Baijiu.
Motai stuff, which is really expensive, which is
Well, to
fairly
explain-
decent. Like
Baijiu literally means
White.
alcohol.
alcohol, yeah.
Basically. And the funny thing is, because I think sometimes Chinese people equate the word jiu with wine. So they'll say it's like white wine or something, but it's not. It's like 40%. You're right. Some of the cheaper stuff I've drank, and when you take a shot, you honestly feel like you're going to die, like you just shot some nitroglycerin or something.
Yeah,
like, like you can feel your throat closing up and stuff. But I don't know. I'm quite a fan of Baijiu because when I first started to drink it, it was obviously it's quite a different taste. But I always think the first glass is like Jesus. The second glass is like. Third glass, I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. You know what I mean? And I really think, it's a staple at any sort of Chinese business dinner, isn't it, or meal, or
It is.
or
It
social
is.
occasion.
It's a must-do kind of like, yeah.
And I really think I can see why. I think it's a very friendly drunk. At least to me, it is. You get chatty and you feel kind of warm. Now it's not good the next
And
day.
then you just go unconscious, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can very easily go overboard on it. You want to be careful.
Because they pour it in big glasses, and some of it's 50%, 60%.
Yeah. Have you tried the Mutai?
Yeah.
Really
I
famous
think that's overrated. I've tried a few cheaper ones than that are way better than it, to be honest. But I think a lot of Chinese people will agree that the Mutai is a bit overrated.
I went down to. Did I tell you I went down to? Oh, what's the place called where Mutai is made? I went to Guizhou, and obviously they were quite proud. I arrived there, and they were obviously quite proud. You got to drink some Mutai, and they had 2 bottles of the white stuff. And even that's like, what's that, like 500, 600? Yeah. It's like
some of it's
60,
like
70 quid a bottle.
$2,000 or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's expensive. But then they had this brown bottle, and they said, like, this is the good one. We drink this first. God only knows how much it cost. I have no idea. But we drank that. I couldn't tell the difference. But we drank that first, and then we drank the 2 white ones. We drank a lot. That they also had Mutai flavoured cigarettes. And, that's what started me smoking again. I'd given up for, like, 4 years. And I was still, like, not smoking. And then someone pulled out a Mutai flavoured cigarette, and I'm like, there's no way I've never seen them before. There's no way I'm passing up the chance to try one of these. And it did taste a little bit like Mutai Baijiu, but after that, I probably smoked like 20 cigarettes that night, 3 bottles of Mutai Baijiu, and I was just gone. But, yeah. Anyway, this wine...
I'm happy you left your glove on, Finn, because...
I've still got the glove on. I feel like Michael Jackson in a weird way.
I have one more thing that Angel informed me that we didn't give the chicken foot a fair shot.
Oh, I see. Got
So,
complaints.
unfortunately, I have another chicken foot for us to try, because the one we tried was a supermarket one that came in a packet. She says that we should have tried one from this duck neck shop
I see.
to give it a fair review, so I'm afraid we have to go again on the chicken foot.
Let's go for it, mate.
So in the interest of scientific experiments, she got me 2 of these as well. She actually got me 4. The other 2 were way bigger than this, and I was like, nah, love, you can have them. But they're, sorry for all the rustling, but...
All right, let's do some chickens for you again. Well, like I said,
sorry about that, but
I've still got my glove on.
I don't want people shitting on us saying we didn't dig in.
So this is Angel. She's like, this is what I'd eat. Oh God.
Yes,
The toenails have been clipped.
Yeah, they,
so we're all ready.
Yeah, actually,
Obviously,
the ones. Oh Jesus!
It's obviously a higher level.
You can see, all right, what she means. Like the one that we got was almost like compacted.
Yeah.
No, it's still not a pretty sight. Like.
Looks like ET, doesn't it? Look.
Now, in fairness, maybe I should have taken the other ones. The other ones were spicy, but I think we shouldn't have tried the spicy thing. Now, my 2 kids almost had a fight over the 2 that I left behind. I was almost embarrassed. Like she even the baby started gnawing on one. He was like loving it. So I don't know.
Well, then maybe they are worth another go.
Yeah, look, we're not gonna.
Yeah, let's go for it.
It's not great, but I can see what I can see what she's saying. It is.
Better.
It's not.
It's meatier.
Yeah, it's.
I'm gonna try that big palm.
It's not a texture I like, but I mean, this I could, like, if I was really, really hungry, I could eat them, like, definitely could, like.
Yeah, this is really much better.
It is, isn't it? In fairness, no.
Yeah.
It's not, again.
I like the way they've clipped the toenails too, because that was freaking me out. But
it's like the bit of a chicken, like, when you cook a chicken in an oven and you didn't get it quite crispy. It's not too bad, to be honest with you. It's just what's putting me off is like
the look of it. You've got to get past that, haven't you? Because
it is literally
it's not something we normally eat, is it? Yeah.
But in fairness, now she's right.
Yeah,
like, I'm not going to do anymore because I don't really like the texture, but the flavour is okay.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. Yeah, definitely better.
And to be honest with you, the ones that I didn't take off they had more to them. They were like a bit longer, and they had it looked like there was way more meat on them, and they had been like they were almost red in colour because they had been.
Well, maybe it's a good idea you left them for the people that really appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly, because I can't.
Well, I'm still eating it.
Okay, good. So we gave the chicken foot a second shot. Duck neck. I'm going out tomorrow morning.
Bucket, let's have a chicken foot every week.
I'm going to have a duck neck I'm going to
mate, a bag of those things. It's literally like you said, like it's the same as gnawing on a chicken wing. It's good tasting meat.
Yeah.
There's enough on it to make it worth it, as far as I'm concerned. And Yeah, I'm glad you like those because I've always liked those as well.
Yeah, I was well impressed with them. I definitely, next time she bring a bag of home,
Yeah, they'll be having
brings a bag of them home,
You'll be having a few of them.
throw them over here.
Well, I've
love.
had a couple of Chinese girlfriends in the past, and each of them have loved those things.
Yeah.
Loved them. All right, that was quite successful.
Cool.
The wine, I mean, not great.
I mean, if I
Probably
had-
best in cooking.
Yeah, I actually can see why they use it for.
Yeah,
cooking.
because it's quite flavoursome, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sweet. And, I mean, you finished it. Oh, I finished mine as well. No.
No, I don't think it's bad tasting. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't go in and go give me a glass of fucking black glutinous rice wine, like. But
Yeah.
if it was put in front of me, I wouldn't be like, oh no.
I think I think our palates are going to be much expanded
No, but
by the time
actually-
this is over.
I discussed that with Angel as well. Like, I was a little bit afraid. I don't want to be. I actually want us to find good shit.
Me too.
Because I walk past the aisles in supermarkets and I often look at these things and go, what the hell is that? Like, but I don't want to. I hate wasting food as well. But I think this is good. We're doing it kind of for like an experiment. So we're not buying large quantities and dumping large quantities of food away. Just to be clear on it, but now it's our opportunity to try those, like, you know,
Yeah. Because that's the thing with food. When
beetle flavour crackers or whatever that we wouldn't have tried before. But
I mean, when you're hungry, it's not the time when you go, oh, I'll try something I've never tried
Yeah.
before. You know, if it's something
Yeah.
really alien to you. But yeah, now if I'm walking past the supermarket now, I'm going to look at chicken's feet and going, it's not a bad option.
yeah,
It's not maybe not the best, but it's not bad.
like we have a lot of Chinese mates. You may end up in a scenario where they do order a load of stuff you don't like, and there is chicken feet on the table, and you go, okay, look, I know I can handle that now. You
I'll
know
know
what I
one of
mean?
them.
Or see a bag of duck necks coming out and go, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's just good snack food. You know, I think.
And like I literally, like they do say, never judge a book by its cover. I judged it on how it looked, and I was like, no way, I'm eating that.
Yeah.
I don't know what was down that lad's throat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what somebody. I was trying to get duck tongues as well, but they didn't have them in the shop, and somebody. I have yet to try a duck tongue. I've tried a million times, but they always seem to be sold out or whatever.
They must be
And
good.
one
Then.
lad said to me, "Why do you want to try them? You never know what he's after licking." It's true, though, right? It is true, like.
But then we eat pigs, and they're fucking disgusting animals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
eating their tongue, like, you know what I mean. You're eating their meat, like, so.
Yeah, I suppose. But like gangsters get rid of bodies with those
That's
fucking
right,
things,
yeah,
do they? So anyway, all right. Well done.
Yeah,
good choices,
cool.
mate.
Cool.
Thank you, Angel, for making us try.
So
Duck
having a
necks.
second, yeah.
She's gonna be so pleased when you get home, isn't she? Yeah.
Hey, love, buy a bag of duck necks.
All right, gastro section done. All right, food's over with, and we're moving on to TikTok review. I'm starting to like this more and more as it goes on. I was cracking up the other week. Yeah.
No, I think a lot of people will think we're not really reviewing TikTok. We're just finding good videos off TikTok and watching, but fuck ye, I don't care.
That is what we're doing.
Because
That is what we're doing.
yeah.
Well, I mean, what is there to review? It's basically just wondering what's going on in these people's lives.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Look, it's nice little 10-second clips, so
Yeah, and it's definitely zeitgeist. That's like the things of our times, isn't it? Kind of thing. Yeah, so it's worth having a look. I think it's worth having a look. Go on then.
sure we'll crack right in.
Yeah, it's up to you. I still don't know how to get on TikTok or anything. Is
I-
it easy to download? I guess
Yeah,
so.
it's just an app. I think this one sums up males, but as a little kid, I just think it was it's pretty cute, but it does sum up the whole male and female kind of situation.
All right, go on then.
So boys will understand this.
Oh, no, 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 no.
The way he chased her, like, he's like, no, you have to watch me too.
I mean, he's going to be doing that for the rest of his life, basically, isn't he?
But that kind of does sum it up, like, isn't it? The fancy lad went off and did his bit, and she watched him, and then when he went to do his, she's like, nah.
The brilliant thing was he was rubbish. He just stood on his head and fell over, basically. The girl was like, yeah, that's great, mate.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Super cute, but it sums up life, doesn't it?
That reminded me a little bit of the story you told me a while ago. Didn't you tell me a story when you were was it right?
Oh, trying to show off. Yeah.
And you were trying to jump.
That.
You were trying to jump and hang onto a door frame, and you just flipped over and went flat on your back.
Yeah, exactly. Similar. So I feel for that boy.
I mean, that's yeah. I mean, deep down, all we're doing is trying to impress birds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing that it's such a natural thing. It's such an instinctive thing. That guy, well, he must have been like what, 2 years old, 3 years old, something.
Yeah, something like that. 3 or 4, yeah.
That other kid was pretty good.
Yeah, but that's life again as well. Like you have a mate that's always good at everything.
Yeah.
He's good at sports, and you're like, he's pulling all the chicks, right? And then you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, I have enough of this now.
No, I better do a headstand.
And then completely fuck it up.
Yeah. All right, good.
Poor
That was
fella.
a nice one. That was a nice one.
The next one I just think is mad. I could imagine just being maybe intoxicated or something and seeing this and just going, what the hell is going on here?
Right, I see.
Dude, what? How? How? Are there this many of you right now? You guys are unreal.
I'd be scared. They look like they're having a fucking meeting.
But they I bet you they were like, because I've seen a lot of there's a lot of raccoon things on YouTube as well. They seem pretty smart. Like I seen one raccoon like chase a lad one day because the lad was so afraid of him. The raccoon was like, okay, you're afraid of me, so I'm going to chase.
Well,
you.
the thing
You know
is,
what I mean?
you see that many of anything, and it doesn't matter how big they are or how seemingly harmless they are. It's like, you know,
They're going to fuck you up. Like.
yeah, if 150 4-year-olds want to fucking take you down, they're probably going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember once seeing like a raccoon when we were staying in California, and we just had this rustling. He went out, and it was just a raccoon in the torchlight, and then he legged off. But he didn't bring his bring his crew with him.
They look like little bandits, don't they? Like
Yeah.
I think they're pretty cute. They're cool.
But
That made me
I
smile.
wouldn't have gone that close. I'd have shit myself.
To be honest, I looked at some of more of this lad's videos, and he seems to be. There's raccoons all over his area. They seem to be kind of comfortable with people and stuff.
I think that the thing is, I mean, I think in America or in certain places, they're really common. But
Yeah.
you get an English dude seeing a raccoon, I'm like, what the fuck's that? That scared the shit out of me. Because what do we have? To me, that seems similar to a badger.
Badger, yeah, but I wouldn't go near a badger, no. Like,
Badgers are mental.
Yeah.
Like
Especially the female ones. If you go near like their den, I guess it's called, or whatever it's called. Yeah, they don't like that. Like.
set. I think it's called
Is
a
it
set.
set? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I've heard about. I remember there was a news story in England once about a woman, and it must have been the same thing. But a woman got terrorized inside her house by a badger for about 3.5 hours. He was running around the house, and she was going to the back door, and she was freaking out. There was a big news story, but this badger was like, "I'm having you. You were near my property or whatever," and he just chased her all the way back to her house and wouldn't let her out. I mean,
Jesus. So then I've come across a few things now, because I think the Olympics is getting a bit dull, right? So I'm going to put forward a few events that I think they should definitely bring in. This is in China, I reckon.
I think the dice game that they play in bars in China should be an Olympic event. That'd be hilarious.
That looks like some crack, doesn't it?
Yeah, they were picking up some speed as well. The best thing is if you come off that, you'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly, because you're down low anyway. You're just going to kind of...
That's what I mean. You wouldn't hit the floor and finish.
Yeah, exactly. You're down so low that it's like...
And you'd hit the floor and slide.
Yeah,
so I think but yeah, that looked a load of fun.
That looked like barrel of laughs.
I wonder if that's like a big thing, or if that's just kind of a localized thing that they've sorted
I haven't
out.
seen anybody like around the TV tower where I live. They ice skate, but I haven't seen anybody do that now. But,
I don't trust. You're talking about the TV tower in Tianjin.
Yeah.
When that lake freezes over, I'm like, you're not getting me out there. It doesn't look totally frozen.
Yeah, but you know it's only about that deep. Like it's only about half a meter deep. There's
Oh, is
fuck
it?
all water in there. Like so, even you go through it, you're going to be basically to your waist.
When I saw people
to your waist at the most.
When I saw people doing it, I'm like, do you ever remember what's something that scared me the most when I was a kid? Do you remember the Omen movies?
Yeah. I
And,
don't think I ever seen it. I don't think my mum left me watch it. And then ever since she wouldn't leave me watch it, I was like, oh, I better not watch it. That's the only thing my
You're
mother
such a
said to me.
good, such a good
No,
boy.
but that is literally the only thing because she was like, no, it's very, very, very disturbing.
I had the opposite effect. If my parents didn't
And
want me to watch something, I made sure I bloody watched
No,
it.
but I would normally agree with you on that, but I think there was one other movie she told me about that. She was like, look, you can watch it if you want. I think it was Deliverance. Did you ever see Deliverance
Oh,
where the lad
that's-
gets raped? She
no.
was like, it's very, very disturbing. Then watch
She
that
was
rape
right.
scene. I was like,
She was right.
next time my mum says something, no, because she's let me watch like horror movies and stuff, but like she was like, it's very disturbing.
Well, that's
I
not
was
a
like-
horror movie. That's like
It's not great either.
no, but it's that. But a horror movie, you can
Yeah.
detach yourself from reality. That's just horrible.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but there's a scene in The Omen where you know what The Omen is. The devil gets born basically. And he's a little
Yeah.
kid, and there's like 3 of them. They are actually very good movies, but
No, I heard
they're
that.
proper fucking scary.
Yeah.
And there's one scene where he doesn't like someone. I can't remember anyone who's getting in the way of his world domination. He's got all these guardians to look after him that just come into his life, like his nanny, and his mom realizes there's something up with him, so she's like trying to kill him, and he'll always like kill him somehow. Like he runs his tricycle into his mum or his nanny or something, and knocks her off the stairs, and there's one, I can't remember who the person is, but he makes them fall through the ice, and there's a whole scene where they're just chasing this poor person
Under the ice.
ice.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like one of that's just one of the worst fears ever in it. But because the currents are taking her, so it's not just like she's under the ice and they can smash it. She's off. That reminds. So whenever I see that TV tower,
You don't need to worry. You'll be up to your cock, basically.
That's all I think about,
You'll be
like-
standing there very cold and a bit annoyed, but that'll be about
it's
it.
still, like I said, I mean, I watched the Omen films way too young. They do have an effect on you because I can remember almost every freaky scene, and they always come up with that. I can't remember what it is, but that sort of choir music. Yeah, you know the music, don't you? Yeah. Right, next video.
Is another Olympic event, and I just got this on the way here. It was
So he won.
No, but that's the thing. I reckon, like, I don't know what he's celebrating because he was always on the back foot, right?
was such a
And then-
mismatch.
Yeah, but he was on the back foot. He was like, the other fella was the aggressor, but he just managed to flip him over somehow and he took the victory. That was like...
No, I'm very confused. I'm very interested in this, but I'm very confused.
Yeah,
because
I want
to
to
me
look
it looked
in-
like who can get the most slaps on someone in
Yeah,
60
yeah.
seconds at first, but then it seemed like if you got someone on their back,
It seems to be like, yeah.
you win.
But
But
no,
then
no, no.
surely slapping someone is not the best way to go.
No,
Like,
and like I thought it was like who gave up, like, oh no, I can't take any more slaps,
Yeah.
basically. But
there's a slap
if
off.
anybody recognizes this sport or knows anything about it, let us know in the comments so we can look into it a bit more because I want to see more of this. Like.
Exactly, and,
This is pretty
and I
wicked.
think whatever the rules were, but I'm like, that's rigged. I'd be livid if I'd have bet on the other guy because he was
Yeah, 'cause
caning him.
I thought
the
he
other
was
guy was
winning,
like
yeah.
a fucking right meathead as well.
Yeah,
He was just a
yeah.
bit fat, wasn't he? The other day?
Yeah.
Anyway, he pulled out some moves at the end. To be fair,
Yeah, he did. Like, I think he did kind of probably did roll him in the end over properly, but like I thought, like, what? But I thought like it would be, you push him over a line.
that's
with
what
the
I
slaps or
thought. But then
something.
when it turned around, well, that was a massive arena. There was it was about an acre. You're not going to slap someone out of an acre ring, but
Definitely in the Olympics, though. They can replace javelin or something with that, like.
yeah, let's get more of these sports in the Olympics. Yeah, you're right.
Definitely, like, because all their sports in the Olympics are, like, some of them are decent, but they're getting a bit boring now, aren't they? I'd rather watch two lads slapping the head off each other.
Well-
Slaps is becoming a thing. Actually, I'll find some of them as well where they literally stand in
I've
front of
seen
each other.
them.
Fuck, some of that shit is like, how some of them are not dead is just
The
beyond
best
me.
thing is because they just have a go, don't they? It's
Yeah.
like what it's just so one person will slap something like that was pretty hard, then the next person will just knock his head
Yeah,
off.
clean off his shoulders.
Have you got any more?
I've one more. We couldn't finish it off without our good Russian friend. He's at it again.
The same dude.
The same lad. It seems to be his
He's back.
shtick.
He's back in his
It's
leg.
minus 17 this time.
It's nothing.
Welcome to Russia, my wife.
Is that all he does? All he
And
does?
I literally, I think I found this page now.
This guy loves ice cream.
And it's just nothing but I think, imagine how fucking cold he is, like. And he just bang, and like even my teeth hurt just looking at him biting into the thing, let alone the rest of my body.
I'm
Like
telling you,
they're a different breed of an animal, them Russians.
in fairness though, I don't know how old he is, but he looks healthy as fuck.
Yeah,
mate.
he does.
I mean, like, his skin's glistening and
I tell you, like,
you know it's good for you to jump. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's like, I used to go swimming in Ireland when I was a kid, and like the water around Ireland it's not as cold as that now. It doesn't freeze over or anything, but it's fucking cold.
Well, it's not
right?
warm, yeah.
I did it last time I was home, went for a swim, and I swear to God, I felt amazing for about 2 days afterwards.
Yeah.
Like it just whatever it does, it must do something for your circulation or
Yeah,
something.
that's
It just
it, yeah.
you feel like you're 18 again
Mm.
for like 2 days. Do you know what I mean? So I can understand why he does it, but
I mean, he looks
Yeah.
really healthy though.
yeah, he does.
Apart from the obviously double fisting ice cream when he comes out, but it probably balances out.
it probably does.
Does he just do videos of
I
him popping out
only
of a
went through
river and
3 or
eating
4
it?
of them. That seems to be he just jumps in the ice with either a big ice cream or a small ice cream or 2 ice creams. But I like him. He looks like a fella I'd go for a pint with.
Oh
to be
mate,
honest
I
with you.
definitely want him on this podcast
Yeah.
at some point. I hope we can have like a sort of telly link up at some point.
I'll try and find out what his name is, because it's all in Chinese. But I'll try and find out his name.
I don't know. Maybe we could somehow turn ice lake jumping ice cream eating into the Olympics as well.
Could
Why
be
not
as
have an
well.
alternative Olympics? That'd be
I think
amazing.
we should, like, yeah.
That would be amazing. Yeah, be more interesting than the real
Definitely
Olympics.
would,
yeah.
like.
The other thing I think about the Olympics is everyone goes mad over it, don't they? When it's on, everyone's like, "What, the Olympics? Yeah, yeah." But if you ask anyone now, who won the 100 meters last year?
Don't know.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows. Nobody fucking knows.
And everybody only likes a certain amount of it. Like, they like the sprints, right? So, like, everybody knows Usain Bolt. And then the swimming was Michael Phelps, right? And then I like the boxing, to be honest with you, because that's where you'll find the guys that are going to be the future superstars, right? But do they still have football? Fuck that. Like, we already have the World Cup. Kick that out.
Have you ever been to the Olympics?
No, I haven't. No.
I went to the 2008 Olympics.
in Beijing, yeah?
I didn't. Yeah, I think I saw. You just got the tickets you could get, but I went to see. I went to Shenyang where they had some of the. I saw the Brazilian women's team versus Nigeria play in Shenyang.
Beach volleyball, like, or
Play football,
oh, okay.
and the best thing was, this is the God's honest truth. Obviously, we were standing up. I must have looked like a bit of a lunatic because this is probably not the best thing to say, but I'd got into a bit of a, not a bar brawl, but I'd been damaged in a bar just before we went away. So I had a massive eye patch on because I'd had to have 3 stitches in my eyelid.
Okay.
So I had a big eye patch on when I was at this football match. And obviously we were standing up and cheering. And every time you stood up, these guards would come down and go, "Sit the fuck down, sit down." We thought it was a bit weird. It's like, it's a sports event, it's an Olympic event. But then we realised just over the aisle from us was the entire Brazil men's team.
Oh, okay.
Ronaldinho was there.
No way.
Like 20 foot away from me. Ronaldinho
way.
was there, and Adriano, and all these really famous players were all watching the Brazilian women's team. And then we realised that's why they were making us sit down for
Okay,
security.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point, because I think we were having a few beers as well, but at one point I went, "Ronaldinho!" And he actually looked round right at me, and I waved at him. And do you know what he did? The same thing anyone else does when you wave at him. He just waved at me. Like, really absently, like, "Oh, I must know him." But it's like, "You're Ronaldinho, of course you don't know me." But he really looked like, you know when someone waves at you, you just wave, you just automatically wave. That's what he did. I'm like,
Awesome.
that was my best story of the Olympics. And he's looking at me with a massive eye patch on going, "I must know that dude." "No, of course you don't know me. You're like one of the most famous players in the world." And he was on the wane by that point. But, so I remember that.
I know, just to also reiterate, I'm not shitting on the Olympics. I like the Olympics, but I think some of the sports in there shouldn't be. Like, I mean, gymnastics and all that should be there because they don't really have a big scene for, I know they have their own world championships and stuff like that, but the one that all the public watches, basically, you know, the fair weather fans, we'll say. Like football has the World Cup, so they have no business in there, you know, and they have the, you know, Premiership and all this stuff, so like they got plenty of exposure, you know.
Well, the football is like you're only allowed. It's supposed to still be amateur, isn't it? You're only allowed You're only allowed a few people over 24.
Basketball is another one that doesn't belong in there, like in my eyes. You know
Well,
what I mean?
especially when like the
put
Americans
the-
will just
yeah.
bring over like the Harlem Globetrotters. It's
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
know. Oh, there's some of the European countries are pretty good these days. But anyway, I know what you mean.
You know, I like, I don't think they belong in there. I think it should be all like kind of sports that don't have massive exposure, basically.
Yeah. Like
And
that.
to be honest with you, I don't think they should be allowed to have any professional players.
No,
on the
I
teams.
agree. Totally
None,
agree.
zero, absolutely none.
That's only to increase the viewing figures and stuff. But
Yeah, they should have none.
they
The basketball teams, none. It's all fucking amateurs. Like the boxing's all amateurs. You can't put Mike Tyson in
no,
there.
exactly, yeah.
It's all amateurs, and I think that's fair. If you're going to do it amateurs. Don't go, oh, you can have 3 or 4. Why?
Well, that's what it's supposed to
Why?
be, isn't it? It's supposed to be like, pure sport, not like professional. But but yeah, I totally agree with that. When I watch the Olympics, I'll always find myself drawn into something mad like the archery or.
Yeah, I like all that stuff because
Yeah.
that you don't get to see that on television from day to day.
Or
I love that.
Or that mad sport.
Even
where-
the canoeing one, there's like a canoeing one where
Yeah.
they're going and they're on. Even rowing's pretty cool to watch.
Well,
And
they've also got that-
badminton is good to watch because you don't really watch
I
much
love
badminton,
watching
and
badminton.
stuff.
But
So-
they've also got that mad sport where they kind of do like cross country skiing and then they have to shoot things.
Is that not in the Winter Olympics though? Isn't
Oh,
it?
maybe.
Yeah, no, because the Winter Olympics I think are pretty awesome because that's all stuff you definitely don't get to see. Like,
All right, well they were good videos this week. I think we'd like to see an alternative Olympics, and it also reminded me of that Ronaldinho story, which I've thought for ages. And I like the story of you swimming around the coast in Ireland.
Yeah,
That's great. I can just imagine you doing that.
get a swim, get a swim in.
All right, TikTok review done.
Oh.
All right, it's current affairs time.
Yeah, so final section. It happened back in August, but they're starting to kind of implement it now. There's an anti-food waste push in China now, and they want to outlaw a few things. She said in August, President Xi said in August that, especially due to COVID and stuff, like food production was becoming an issue and blah, 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 and we need to start being more mindful about what we eat. I think we need to do that globally anyway because there is a lot of waste. So one of the things that basically they're trying to bring in here is that you go to a restaurant and you can like Chinese restaurants isn't like Western restaurant where you order one plate of food for yourself. You order, like, as you know, I'm just trying to explain to people, like if there's 10 people, you'll order a number of dishes which will be put in the middle of the table and people basically share them. But what happens in China is because, especially if it's
Like a ceremonial thing.
a ceremonial thing, they'll always order way too much than what you needed because it's seen as like, you're trying to look after your guests and, you don't want anybody to go home hungry and things.
I used to know the Chinese word for this. I think it might be something like a mianshi, or it means like showing hospitality.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember. I might have got
like
that wrong.
if you know, and I've been to many work dinners and stuff like that. There's never a situation going, shit, I wish there was more food because there was always way too much food.
Weddings are
Weddings and other ones. There's
Weddings
always
are a
like
serious-
there must be tons of food, but like definitely for sure that needs to be tackled. But I think Chinese people love their food. It'll be a hard one to kind of it'll be a hard one to implement, and even the government to understand that it's going to be like, because how, like, you can't just say, okay, there's 2 people, you can only have 2 dishes, because like a lot of Chinese people, when you go, they also take it home with them. So I think they don't have a problem with that. I think what they want to do is try to get rid of the this massive amounts of food being left on tables by company dinners and government dinners and things, which I think they need to work on. But one that I really, really agree with him, and I'm not sure if you're aware, there's this new thing. It's on TikTok as well, actually, funnily enough, and I have a little video to show you in case you don't know. It's this mukbang videos. It's these binge eating videos, basically.
Oh God, I know what you mean.
Where they want to basically outlaw them. And now normally I'm not like into like them outlawing. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are making a living out of that now, but this is really wrong. It's like, in my eyes anyway, there's people eating like huge quantities of food on video. I'll show you a little clip.
I'm
here.
glad you brought this up actually, because I've done a class with this in my university classes. I've done it. There's a newspaper article about the amount of food being wasted, particularly in university campuses, because they've got they've got thousands of students, and it's like I appreciate the problem they have, because they have to make sure that there's enough food for everyone to eat if they want it, but not everyone eats. So the food waste on campuses is like sky high, you know what I mean? Like something like you could feed, with the waste from a university, you could feed like 300 million people a year, which, like, it's really something that bad. Like, it's amazing. So we read the article, and then I made my students talk about how you can, and what the other ones, like you said, there's banquets, and there's this, I keep thinking it's Mian Shi, but I can't remember, but it's this Chinese philosophy of like hospitality and making sure that there's more than enough kind of thing to show hospitality. And I tried to make my students come up with, of course, in the idea of practicing English, but they had to come up with ideas to try and prevent ways of this happening. So I'm quite interested in this topic.
And like what they will do, from what I read today, what they'll do with restaurants and stuff is they're not going to force them to. You can only sell 10 dishes to 10 people. They're going to like have the waiter staff say, look, kind of remind people, look, try not to order too much, and maybe have, like, if you have 10 people, you can't order more than 12 dishes unless they can see that they're clearly gone.
These are some of the things we were talking about. Like, should there be a limit? Like, it should be like one dish per person.
Well,
and
see,
you can
that
still have
that
all
works
the dishes
in some restaurants, but it doesn't work in others. So I can it is a challenge, like, because
you're telling people you need to change, like, a culture that's been going on for, like, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So,
but basically, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I do agree with him on it. Now, I'm going to show you a little clip here. I'm not having a pop at this guy, but this is kind of what they are. And they also turn up the sound, so you hear them munching like that. Like, there's enough food there for at least 2 or 3 people, like 3 or 4 people probably. And he ends up, I won't.
how long is this video?
This is 15 minutes or something. They're not going to make you watch all of it, of course. Well, I'll leave it at that, but you get the hint. Yeah. There's way worse. There's one I've seen ones on YouTube from America where there's a girl eating a lobster, and the lobster is literally the size of her, and it's not
sending out the right message, is it?
I mean, with the amount of poverty in the world today, I mean, it is fucking ridiculous.
It's obscene.
Like, it is absolutely obscene. I know these people are trying to make a living off making videos or whatever, but it's. Yeah, maybe just review the food or something. I'm sure people will be interested in that.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Like,
what you said is right. I think when there's half the world starving, the fact that this is entertainment must be
it's an insult.
It's a real fucking kick in the teeth to a family that's starving. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, I mean, there is enough food there to feed a family, and this man is gonna eat it for fun, basically,
and it's not healthy.
No, it's not either. Like,
whatever I can't see any good about. Well, there's obviously no good about it, but
people, they're huge. Like, these videos they're getting massive amounts of views, and I'm a bit torn in the sense that, like, people should be free to do whatever they want or whatever, but like, and if people be like, but he can afford it, he can do it if he wants to do it, and if he has an audience, but it's like. Yeah, but the people that don't have the food and don't have the money and don't have the choice, if that's shown to them or they do see it, it's like, oh my God, like.
Well, I mean, there's. I know it's not an easy fix to say, we need to distribute food more evenly so everyone can eat. That's another argument, or that's easier said than done. But, this is really. Yeah, I feel like it's obscene.
Yeah, it's.
I've also heard that they were people are starting to do this with animals as well.
The loophole was they were getting a dog to do it instead because it wasn't, that's even worse. That's even worse.
That's animal cruelty, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, if this guy wants to do that, he can choose to. But if you put all this food in front of like an Alsatian, they're going to eat it. no dog knows when to stop eating, do they? I've never seen
Yeah.
it. I've never really met a dog that goes, I shouldn't eat anymore, dabs his mouth, and moves
Exactly.
along. So,
Exactly.
And, you know, that's dangerous shit. So,
So how they're basically talking about like if this law puts in place, like people like this gentleman here will get a 100,000 RMB fine, which is around $15,000,
I think that is
and they'll get their account suspended and stuff. I think that's to be honest, I think it's reasonable.
totally
because,
justified. You know, there's things about food waste that is going to be hard with, like a cultural thing is not, you know, pigging out and all this stuff. You know, that's different. You have to obviously realize that that's part of society and part of people's culture, and people don't want to appear rude. You know, manners and that kind of thing is very important. I mean, I'd even put these speed eating competitions into this.
Yeah, definitely. Like I don't think this is also. I think China tackling it is a good thing, but I think the whole world needs to tackle this because, like you said, like competitions you see in America of these burgers that are basically the size of a house and all that.
Yeah.
This is.
And it's not like the sort of hot dog eating competitions where they're
Yeah.
like dunking hot dogs into water to make them easier to suck down. I'm like,
gluttony.
stop eating
It's
hot
fucking
dogs.
gluttony. And I'm not a religious person or anything, but like we talked about it last week. I'll eat 10 McDonald's burgers if I'm hungry.
I love a meal.
But I'll only eat them if I'm hungry. Like I don't eat them like for entertainment.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
I mean, it's just also, I also think the people that are watching this, what are you
yeah,
doing?
but that's what like I had to turn that.
Why are you
I just
watching
wanted
this?
to show you, but I found 3 or 4 of these videos. The sound alone is enough. I hate hearing people eat. To be honest with you, like I even have it go off my wife sometimes when I hear her eating. I'm like, could you chew that a bit louder? You know what I mean? So like I don't understand the entertainment.
No,
value
me
of
neither.
It looks disgusting in my eyes.
I've seen a girl on one of these videos. She makes in a big bowl, must be like 12 tubs of instant noodles. And, you know, even eating one tub of them is probably taking your life in your hands.
Yeah.
And she sucks down like 12 of them like nobody's business. And yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you know, like I said, people wouldn't do it if people weren't watching. That's the fucking problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, the internet has given this a platform, and without it, it wouldn't never. Like, you're not going to see lads out in the street surrounding a fella at a
Cane
table.
in noodles.
Cane and noodles. You're not, because so like yeah. Another reason why the internet, you know, is not all good.
Well, I think, you know, like I said, I agree with you. I think the drive to find people who are doing it, for me, I couldn't give a fuck about this guy or the people who are watching it. I think it should be stopped.
Yeah.
But I think it's like putting a plaster over the real problem. That why do people want to watch this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something else we need to
It's
address.
huge. I think the mukbang thing started in Korea or something.
What does that mean? Is that just
I
overeating?
think it's a Korean word. I'm not sure what it means. I think it's Korean. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It's like I think it might have started with him eating, you know, that like the live squid, you know, the octopus or something, where it's like you can see the tentacles sticking to, and then it just got into bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, I know it's a big thing that people will they watch just someone not overeating. They just watch someone eat a meal.
Yeah,
I know it's a big thing in Korea, and I know maybe some other places as well. But
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
where it kind of started. Where like, and I get that some people have a bit of a fixation of watching somebody eat,
and some people are lonely. They actually eat their own dinner with
them, and like
the
I
person.
think if the person is sitting down with a regular size meal,
Yeah.
if that's what floats your boat,
Go for it.
Go for it. But if it comes to the stage where the person is literally damaging themselves by overeating, and then just the waste of it.
I mean, there's so many questions I have about this that I don't even know where to start. That the people that are watching it is one question. The effects on the guy that's doing it is
Yeah.
another question.
Yeah.
And like I said, the sort of wider moral implications. It's just, there's nothing good about it, is there?
I don't think there is. Like, I know this is not room 101, but I think we should probably throw these mukbang things into room 101.
And
The other-
the idea of doing it with your pets is fucking reprehensible. in my opinion.
that death penalty. Just
Yeah.
shoot them, whatever.
Yeah.
It's it's ridiculous, but it's good. This I didn't go to Panda Guides for a change for my news story
Yeah.
today.
We let Panda Guys off this week.
I got it, but it's another Chinese one. I'll actually send you the link. It's called the Sixth Tone. I think they're Shanghai based, but they're a lot more. They have some like, you know, shitty stories, as if in negative stories, but they try to be upbeat about things as well. And I kind of go to them once in a while to kind of
just to relieve yourself from the Panda Guys.
To realise that
mire
the
of
world
filth.
is they have a nice little setup. I like the way they had their website is pretty good and stuff. They have some good stories, and I think this is a good. I think it's very like we have to remember China has, I think it's quarter of the world's population or more.
It's a lot.
It's what anyway. It's billions of people, and it's if they're willing to do something, then we all should be willing to do something. You know.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm definitely, like I said, I know it's not Room 101, but I definitely want to put this in Room 101. Overeating for no reason apart from the entertainment value of weirdos. And the worrying thing is, there must be a lot of them out there because
there is like
there's a lot of people doing this, isn't there?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
There's another one that I'll. Have you ever heard of this ASMR thing?
No.
This is really weird. It's basically they have like this really sensitive microphone and they like start like licking a fake ear or something into the microphone for 20 minutes or something. It's. I'll show you another time. I'll bring it up another time. It's.
What does ASMR stand for?
I can't remember. I'll definitely do a bit of research, and that might be one of the next topics someday because one I really don't get.
Well, let's do it because if we can, I'd like to be able to use whatever platform we may have to illustrate this bullshit, this bollocks. It's just
but to us
rubbish.
it is like, I mean, we're kind of we said it before. We're in our 40s, like, and we're lucky that we lived without the internet and now have the internet. Some people have only had the internet, so like we can kind of see like this doesn't like kids should be out fucking hanging out of trees and stuff. What are they watching somebody like lick a fucking fake ear for, you know? So I think it's good that, you know, look, some of the stuff I think is fantastic, but some of it is a lot of nonsense, like, in my eyes, so.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with you, mate. I mean, let's if whatever we can do to knock this on the head, I think we should do it, definitely, without a doubt. Interesting story. Thank you for reminding, not bringing it to my attention and stuff, but reminding me of it, because, it's absolutely insane. You are more connected to the internet world than me. You're my conduit to the internet world. I don't.
In a way, I hope it stays that way because I'd rather I wasn't in. I'm not saying the internet is all bad. Yeah, another topic for another day. But I'd rather
it can be abused, can't it?
I'd rather I didn't have it anymore, to be honest with you. But it's in our life now, and
there's nothing we can do about it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that was a good story. Interesting story. Current affairs done.
Yep.
All right, mate. Another fun podcast. I particularly enjoyed the TikTok videos this week. I think we've hit on something there with that Olympic thing. To be honest with you, I think there should be a new Olympic Games, an alternative Olympic Games, and I just cannot wait to get our old mate on this. I just want to get him on the TikTok podcast. This Russian dude, like me.
So if you're out there, I'm going to call you Igor for now until I find out your real name. But that was number 4. Like we said, if you enjoy it, let us know. Hit a like, subscribe, and leave a few comments, even though we don't like the nasty comments. But
Anyway, so we'll see you soon. And again, I enjoyed it. Nice to see you, Jason.
See ya.